It's called embryonic cloning. This is an embryonic cloning. Okay, so you take an embryo, an egg, and you put a nucleus from a different, same species from a different variation among species. But we have adult stem cell as well. If they take the cells from your bone marrow or your liver, your skin, your fat cells, anywhere in the body, they take your cells and they put them in a dish, a petri dish that you grew bacteria in there, a colony of bacteria. You put them in a dish and you put in growth factor, hormones, proteins. I call it a soup. You put a soup in there, and then it is possible to get liver cells, and neuron, a nerve cell, or a muscle cell, or any kind of other cell. You took a cell, a stem cell, from your bone marrow, or liver, or fat cell, anywhere in the body, and then you change them to a neuron. A person has Alzheimer's disease. I'm talking theoretically. I'm going to theory now. Okay, a person has Alzheimer's disease, they take these neurons and put it there. Somebody has a heart function, their heart cells died, then they take these heart cells and they took them from the same person, and they took them and put them, they differentiate them, and they make heart cells and they put in that heart person of that person. Okay, now tell me, if I take an embryo, just like last one we talked about, right here. If you take I'm sorry, not that one. This is an embryo, sorry about that. This is called embryonic stem cell. The last one was called cloning. This is called, can I erase this? I'm mixing up ideas, which is not healthy for you guys. But let's go back. And I hope you can put them together for me. There are two types of cloning. There are two types of stem cell. There are more, but I'll only talk about two of them in here. Two types of stem cell. One of them is embryonic stem cell, and the other one is adult stem cell. I did talk about adult stem cell. The one that they take your bone marrow or your liver cells or your fat cells or skin cells and they grow it to different type of cells. That's called adult stem cells. Okay? And the second one is called embryonic stem cell. Embryonic stem cell, during President Bush, it was banned. You were not allowed to do that. What happens in fertility clinics, something she asked earlier, they take sperm from men who are tall, I guess, handsome, good looking, not that, not those type of sperm. The parents who cannot conceive, what they do, they take the sperm of the husband and they take the egg of the wife and they combine them together and then they put it when the embryo gets that big, that old, mitosis, they grow it in a dish. When it gets to that stage, to get the blastula stage, they take that blastula and they put it in the uterus of the female. And then 9 months later, the baby is born. Okay? In order to do that, they have to make a lot of these blastula, or blastocysts in case of human. They take a lot of sperm, in one ejaculation there is what, how many? 100 million sperm in one ejaculation, in one semen, one sample of semen. And then the egg, they take a lot of eggs from females. So they do this a lot. I mean, they combine the sperm of the husband and the egg of the woman. They combine them and they make embryo a lot. So They put one inside, she does not conceive, they go try again, she does not, maybe third time, fourth time, she will have a baby. They will be attached to the uterus and grows. Am I making some sense so far? What they are gonna do with the rest of those embryos they have in these fertility clinics. During Bush era, they dump it down the toilet. That was the law. Am I making some sense? They said, let's take all of these and put it down the toilet. But now they changed the law. They say, let's do research on them. Of course, this will die. When they do research, when you take the cells from here out, not from out here, from here, they call them the inner cell mass. They mention it in here somewhere. The inner cell mass, when they take the cells here and they grow it, they add soup to it, and they grow it to liver cells, neuron, heart cells, bone cells, whatever cells you need. They can do that. Okay? Of course, this is easier. When you do embryonic stem cell, this is much, much easier than doing adult stem cells. Okay? Now, if I come up, if Amir Assadi-rad, Ali comes up, Corey, if Amir Assadi-rad comes up with a heart problem, let's say I have a heart problem, and I need some muscle cell. Which one suits my demand? My own stem cells or some other baby's stem cells? And the answer is why not? Yes, Ali, you were...
I say embryo.
The embryo is better?
Yeah.
Why?
Because doesn't it start from like, you can make it to whatever cell you want? Like they take
Easier,
over.
you're right. Very much easier, but what else? Embryo, I'm going to write down an embryo. Adult, Amir adult, right? The embryo cells have the sugar molecule or protein molecule like this on the surface, and Amir is like that, right? They want to put that cell in me. What will I do? I reject it. My immune response will not accept that. But if they do this and they put it in me, I will accept it. This is Amir adult and Amir, and then of course my cells are like that. That's the drawback with embryonic stem cell. Embryonic stem cell, if you need a cell, a brain cells, heart cells, any cell you need, you're taking somebody else's, you're taking somebody else's blood. You remember that? The blood type? That was the lab practical exam question. Who are the universal recipient? AB. They receive. Same here. You can receive your own cells, but you cannot receive anybody else. Unless they manipulate it, unless they give you drugs until you accept it. I hope I'm making some sense. Am I making some sense of what is going on as far as adult cell and stem cell? Of course, you can take, this was a essay question I asked in zoology, how a rich person can clone, you can do the same thing with this technique, right? You can take a cell from here, and then you take egg of a woman, you absolutely need egg of a woman, and then take the nucleus out of the egg of that woman and put my own nucleus in there, and then I have a mass of cells, and these mass of cells, right, the blastula, I can grow them to whatever I want, but that's costly. You have to have a lot of bukus of money, I guess. Ethical questions. Using growth hormone for short people, it is possible people who are stunned, they give them growth hormone and they grow to a normal size. Yes?
You know, the soccer player Messi, he actually, when he was born, his parents told the doctors to use growth hormone on him, even though he was just short, like he didn't have a disease or anything.
Yeah, they do that. I agree. That was something I gave, the idea I gave it to my brother. he had his son. His son is normal size height now. I told him, if you want to do this, you want to give him growth hormone, you have to do it before puberty. You have to. And not every pediatrician accepts. Some pediatricians say, no, I will not do this. You have to find a pediatrician that say, okay, I want it. It has to be before puberty. And it has to be accepted by a pediatrician. You have to call around, see who is willing to give the shots. You all know what a pediatrician, doctors, babies doctors, pediatrician, not beautician. Beautician is the one you go to. They cut your hair like Justin. That's a beautician. Pediatrician is the one that's baby's doctor. Chelsea.
What would happen if you give it to them after puberty?
Oh, well, I don't think it will have any effect. Number one. Number two, then it would be like athletes. It will harm. That's what athletes do. They pump up, they give steroids, growth hormone. It has effect on the genitals, on liver. So it has more drawbacks than advantages. Now we'll see how long Messi will live. I didn't know that about Messi. I will tell my brother.
It was when he was a kid.
I know, we talked about it. When he was a kid, of course, it has to be done before puberty. I will tell my brother. He plays soccer, and then he says in the field, everybody calls him Messi. I laugh. Anytime he says that, I laugh. But the same as you guys. You see that just laugh, I laugh too anytime he says it. Side effects, of course. There is side effects, and meant to be short. Maybe some people, maybe Messi meant to be short. Maybe if Messi was not getting the shot, he would be Albert Einstein. We don't know. Is that right? We don't know what turn the life will take. Okay, and larger animal, do we give them hormones like cows and other animals to make them bigger, larger, meaner? Is that right? Meatier. I don't know. Those are the things that I have some reservation. Okay, let's talk about viruses a little bit. I think I talked about just about everything that we talked about. I did talk about viruses as well, so I'm not going to go into detail and say a lot about viruses. This is a picture of a phage. You should know your textbook gave you different pictures of phage, so different pictures of viruses. On those viruses, I hope you recognize which one of them is a phage, which one of them is a HIV. You should recognize those pictures that are in your textbooks. But this is the phage, and inside of the phage is DNA right here. That's a DNA material. And then what happens, there are different, here we go, the different type of HIV, a phage, and a RNA virus outside. This is, all the green is protein molecules. Here, HIV has RNA, has reverse transcriptase. It has an envelope. The envelope is made up of phospholipid. Okay, not all viruses have envelope. There are two other things. When I talked about viruses the other day, it might come up here. I'm going to write it down. That viroids and prions. Prions are just protein molecules, just protein. And then, like mad cow disease, have you heard of mad cow disease? It is just a protein molecule that goes inside of the brain cells and eat up, consume the brain cells. And viroids are just RNA, RNA strands. They destroy cells. They destroy cells, and they can multiply. They're just strands of RNA. They're not encoded in anything. They're not inside of anything. It might come up in here. Okay, viruses. Viruses have different structure, of course, not all alike. Some viruses have only RNA, some only have DNA, but not both. You do not find any virus that has both RNA and DNA. You will not find that. Either they have RNA or they do not have, or they have DNA. Either the DNA is double-stranded or DNA is single-stranded. The RNA is single-stranded, the RNA is double-stranded. All possibilities there, but you do not find a virus that has both RNA and DNA. Am I making some sense? A little bit? And then of course, you have two other things, viroids, that they are just RNA, and they act like viruses. And then of course you have prions, they are just protein molecule, act like viruses. They need a host cell. Viruses are not living organisms. They are not have cell. They are not cells. Okay, prions, they're protein particles. Mad cow disease. And then viroids, strands of circular RNA, not DNA. I didn't know those. I don't know. Somebody, I gotta fix that. This is not right. This is a strand of RNA, not DNA. Let's fix it now. I didn't know that there are that many mistakes in here. Huh. RNA. Okay. There we go. Okay, spheroids. It's OI. I misspelled it. Sorry about that. I knew there's something wrong. OI. Okay. What else? Security. Here we go. The lytic pathway and lysogenic pathway. We talked about this. During the lytic pathway, the host cell will die. It doesn't matter, it's a bacteria or human immune system, HIV. During lytic pathway, the host cell will die. During lysogenic pathway, the host cells survive and multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply. However, the pieces and bits of DNA of the virus multiplies as well. Okay, I hope I'm making some sense. How virus is reproduced, lytic, lysogenic. How does HIV reproduce? Here is a structure of HIV. HIV has a capsid outside of it, and then it has an envelope. Attached to this envelope are glycoproteins. These glycoproteins attach to our white blood cells. This is a white blood cell. This is the virus, and they go like here. They attach. Our white blood cells have receptors for, you remember we talked about this at the beginning of semester, have receptors for HIV. Other cells of our body do not. Okay, so they will go attached to our white blood cells. That's pretty much it. That's the structure of envelope. So HIV has an envelope right here. So HIV attaches to the white blood cells and release, HIV entering, release the RNA. RNA has an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. I did write that down for you guys in the past. It's called reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase is an enzyme that make up, here is the RNA, you see that? Viral RNA. It makes DNA. Where is DNA? The DNA, RNA DNA hybrid. So DNA from the virus, RNA from the virus, DNA based on the RNA of the virus. Then the DNA duplicates itself. The DNA goes into the nucleus, insert itself into the DNA of the host cell. And then based on that DNA, RNA is synthesized. RNA comes out, and then of course use all of the machinery of the host cell and multiply itself and get out of the host cell. That's how HIV multiplies. Here it is again, life cycle of HIV, and just showing you a little bit. Anyway, people are unreasonable. You've heard of this? Michelle, have you heard of that? People are unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered like Amir. Love them anyway. Is that right? Ali, is that right? Like Amir. If you do good, People will accuse you of ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness. Frank is my name, is that right? Make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. People favor underdogs but follow only the top dogs. Fight for underdogs anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help but may attack you if you help them. Help people anyway. Give the world the best you have and you'll get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you've got anyway. Mother Teresa, if you didn't know. You don't know Mother Teresa? No. Yes, Chelsea.